purpose here is to inform you guys on China and to persuade you to travel there one day. As the famous saying goes, traveling is the best form of education. Traveling is one of my favorite activities, and I hope to travel to many countries in the future. I think China would be a great place for you guys to travel, as it is growing a lot and it has many tourist attractions. Due to there being a lot of information regarding China, I'll break it down into 3 parts. First, I'll talk about the geographic aspects of China. Second, I'll talk about the social-cultural aspects. And lastly, I'll talk about the travel aspects. China is a humongous country in southern Asia. According to the population section on Culturegrams, China recorded a population of 1.37 billion people in 2015, which would be the world's largest population. This is very surprising, as China has always had the one-child policy. This forced families to have only one child, and those that had more than one were punished. However, in 2015, this was uplifted, and now families are allowed to have 2 children. China also has many ethnic groups. The majority ethnic group in China are the Han, which make up 92% of the population. The other 8% of the population is made up by 55 other groups. China's large economy is ultimately offset by its huge population. In terms of GDP per capita, China is on the level of a developing country. Overall income in China is rising, but the wealth is not equally distributed. This is because China has a very low job flexibility, and the majority of people work in agriculture. According to the economy section on Culturegrams, China is a world leader in producing rice and tobacco. In China, the government is very repressive. Unlike in the United States, there is no freedom of speech, religion, or assembly. Now that I've told you about the geographic aspects, I want to tell you guys about the socio-cultural aspects. China is a country filled with many customs and cultures. Of the many cultural aspects of China, holidays are very important. The Chinese New Year's is one of the most important holidays. According to the holidays section on Culturegrams, the Chinese New Year begins on the first day of the lunar month and is marked by banquets, gatherings, fireworks, and dragon dancing. Also during this time, families have big dinners and children are given money in envelopes. Then in early April comes Tomb Sweeping Day. During this time, people go to the cemeteries and burn incense and paper money. In China, religion is practiced, but with many guidelines. Temples, churches, and mosques are open to the public, but public worship is discouraged. The 4 major religions in China practiced are Christianity, Islam, Taoism, and Buddhism. Taoism is the only Chinese-born religion. According to Culturegrams, principles of Taoism stress peace, calm, nature, and harmony between nature and universe. The Chinese are also very passionate about food. Fusha Dunlap of BBCNews.com once said that her trip into the countryside to visit a pickle maker turned into a 17-course lunch. She also elaborated that it is hard to do anything in China without having a meal. According to the customs section, eating is an important way of socializing and building relationships. Now that I've told you guys about the cultural aspects, I want to get on to the travel aspects and why you should travel there one day. China is one of the most fascinating countries in the world, and everybody should travel there one day. It is home to many historic monuments. One historic monument in China is the Great Wall of China. This zigzags across the whole northern China. As well as being a defense tactic, this is a great place for others to go hike. Another famous monument in China is the life-size Museum of the Terracotta Army. This museum is now the candidate for the 8th wonder of the world. China also has a very vast and diverse landscape. It has many mountain ranges for people to go hike, and it is a great place for people to get away from the big cities such as Beijing and Shanghai. Cruises down the Yangtze River are also a very attractive activity. China has a lot of transportation options. According to the transportation section on Culturegrams, individuals travel by foot, bus, motorcycle, bicycle, train, and pedicabs. In 2012, China opened up the world's longest high-speed rail route. Although domestic travel in China is expensive, traveling by bus and train is very inexpensive. In conclusion, I hope I was able to efficiently explain China's geographic, cultural, and travel aspects. China's rich history is unfathomable, and I hope you guys all travel there one day. If you guys do plan to travel there, I hope you guys include me as well. Thanks for listening.